Hello, this video is on detoxing naturally. My name is Wendy Sebastian. I'm a colon hydrotherapist and a nutritionist. So naturally, people come to refresh your soul, to see me to detox, and I'm going to talk about cleansing and detoxing and all that fun stuff today. So overall, I really, you know, in allopathic medicine, they don't believe in the word detoxing because they think our body naturally does it on its own. So let's just talk about the elephant in the room. And then in integrative medicine, we talk about that completely, like, and living a detox life. So ultimately, we're constantly taking in toxins walking around the entire world, right? So a lot of people don't realize the chemicals on our food. So what exactly are we detoxing here? So understanding that heavy metals go into our fat cells and eliminating heavy metals and how that affects our cognitive function, how that affects our digestion. So all these things we're trying to eliminate. When you look at the glyphosate from the pesticides sprayed on the crops on our food, we can actually see all these things being stored in our fat cells. So all these things affect our overall health and well-being, and we're actually seeing it in the current literature today, which is so exciting. Even 5 years ago, there wasn't the amount of literature that we have today. So again, understanding what detoxing and cleansing and they can kind of overlap as well. And so in the integrative space, we do talk about, to me, it's living a detox lifestyle, because this isn't something you start and finish. This is a continuous thing that you do as you get into this space. To me, it's like, do you start brushing your teeth and then stop? No, because you're constantly eating. Even if you eat healthy food, things get caught in your teeth. You're continuously cleaning your teeth. You're continuously going and getting your hygienist cleaning your teeth. Why? Because you're constantly eating, and this is something that you do as a maintenance protocol to keep your health and wellness up. So this is something that we just do, and we're trained to do as we are children. So I think that this is an educational thing. And again, if you're just getting into this holistic, integrative wellness space, I encourage you just to continue to take this one step at a time. It may seem overwhelming and daunting, and that's absolutely okay. And so I'm going to talk about colon hydrotherapy to start, and then we'll go into the other areas. So I first got into colon hydrotherapy because I was having digestive issues. I wasn't having full and complete bowel movements. And so it was introduced to me because I was already in the place of eating whole foods. And I knew that that was a healthier way to be as a nutritionist. In nutrition science, you definitely can see how food is made and the processes of that. And so for me, I was into fitness, and I knew that a whole food diet was a better place for me, but I also knew I wasn't having full and complete bowel movements, and that was not healthy. So naturally, just going and doing a colonic and seeing all this fecal matter come out of me, I knew that was not healthy. And so getting healthy from the inside out was a priority to me. And it was a blessing that my mom was into supplements. So I already had some awareness of herbs and supplements and having grown food from the garden. So I knew that was a healthier place than going to the Winco and having aisles of processed packaged foods that our body could, you read the back of the label and you're like, can't even identify half of the ingredients. So without going into too much of the science about all that, I think that is most people can identify with that in and of itself. When you eat a lot of that food, when you eat a lot of red food dye and all this stuff, our body is like, what is that? And there's a place of that, where that does affect our body. So when I talk about cleansing and detoxification, let's start with those simple things. So if you're not eliminating fully and effectively, when you sit on the toilet, you feel that you're fully evacuating, that is a place to start. If you're having skin issues, if you're having cognitive issues, this is a place to start. And we always start on one of Dr. Carey talks about the bathtub. So if your drain is clogged, we can't go anywhere else until that is unplugged. So we want to start there. So we want to unplug the drain and get the bowels moving, because you're not assimilating and absorbing your food effectively. We can't do anything else until we get that working. So I don't want to talk about anything else until we get your colon working effectively and get that microbiome, those bacteria working. So I did a video about the HPA axis and how that all works. But basically, it really does have a relationship. So it communicates up to the brain. You're feeling brain fog. You're feeling a lethargic, low energy, all of that stuff. And who can imagine carrying all this pounds of waste in your abdomen if you're not having full and complete bowel movements? So for me, I felt it looked like I was 3 months pregnant after doing a series of colon hydrotherapy sessions. It was amazing. I looked 3 months pregnant, and then it was concaved, and I could not believe with my own eyes. Of course, I followed the directions of the colon hydrotherapist. I had to do a series, which meant I had to come in weekly, and then I had to maintain it. And after about doing that series, it was mind blowing to me. And I was like, okay, nutrition and colon hydrotherapy has to go hand in hand, because if you don't get the feces out of the body and then change the diet, this is not going to work. So at that time, again, this is like 15 years ago. This is before the bubble of the HPA axis, right at the crust of the microbiome. So then I was starting to get into understanding the microbiome, and we're still studying it. It's still a new study. So we're learning more and more every day. And it's so exciting to be part of that. So I feel that I'm at the new frontier. So at any rate, so I was part of this. And for me, getting into colon hydrotherapy and seeing how it transformed my digestion. And it wasn't easy, because I had this expectation that if I did, I don't know, 10 sessions, my gut was going to be healthy. But the truth is my gut had been not healthy most of my life. So it did take about 3 years for me to get my digestion in a better place. I did have to eliminate some foods from my diet, because most things, I had extreme bloating, extreme distension. I couldn't do most cruciferous vegetables. It was very uncomfortable. However, and I talk about this in my book, Rise from Within. So, I think that this was the purpose of my book, is because I really wanted people to understand that you're not alone, that there is a guide. And again, this is a book, it's very general, that anybody struggling with GI issues could identify and walk through this. If you want a little bit more specific, tailored programming, you're going to have to reach out and work individually with me. That being said, I definitely had to walk through my own GI issues to get to where I am today. I do have full and complete bowel movements. And this had to do with me continually doing this Detox Life program. So, I've tried many different things, but I really do believe that it really starts with cleansing out the plaque. Now, that being said, as we all know, the environment has its toxins. Our food has been sprayed. And biggest thing is eliminating, and I'm not saying go bum rush your entire house, but as you learn about what's in each and every one of our household products, you may want to evaluate what is in that and start to identify better, cleaner products for the home. These things oftentimes get stored in our fat cells, and this does affect our health. That being said, taking that to the next level after you start to cleanse your colon, learning about heavy metals and how they affect your overall health, getting that evaluated, and then work towards eliminating the heavy metals in the body with certain foods. Infrared sauna. We have an amazing infrared sauna here. It has 3 different rays. We now added a red light to it. So that's one of the best ways. One of the other practitioners here locally in Sacramento, she is an oncologist naturopath, and she is a big fan of how the infrared has repaired people after seeking chemo treatment. So if that can do that for that, imagine what it can do for just people trying to get on a healthier path. Sorry. So if you're really trying to live a more detox life, I would definitely start with just simple things. Start looking at your household products. Start looking at the makeup that you use. Start looking at how you can get your digestive in a better place. Start looking at the quality of food. Shop locally. These are simple things on how you can live a more detox life. Also, I think the biggest thing is, what are we consuming in our mind? What are we consuming in our social media? What are we consuming in our TV programs? I'm not saying that, a nice TV program from time to time is a wonderful thing to do, especially when we're with our family. I'm talking about that it is a way for us to distract from self. And what are we distracting from? They have become geniuses in how we're get distracted with these devices. So I'm not saying that there isn't a medium place for us to have these devices and for us to connect, but I just feel that at some point we got to put away the devices and get out in nature. And that's a wonderful way to really live a detox life. If you have any more questions about any of these topics here today, if you're interested in colon hydrotherapy, unplugging the bathtub, and a further discussion about that, my name is Wendy Sebastian. We're here at Refresh Your Soul, and you can reach us at any of the social media channels. We look forward to seeing you soon.